So you see them having the Huffington Post and ABC and NBC and all of these wonderful things. You see them saying, I've been featured in this magazine and on this blog. And you're looking and you're saying, but I have a story to share. I have something that I want to tell the world. Or even if it's just, listen, I want to tell them that maybe this pitfall they can miss if they follow these 3 steps, right? Sometimes it can be just that simple. Can they follow these 3 steps and they can miss this whole pitfall that I fell into? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. The elevating, the evolution of your voice includes you being very transparent about where you've been, where you're trying to go, and where you currently are. So again, how many of you are ready to share your story? You're ready to tell your story. You're ready for people to hear your unique voice. So let's get started. When I talk about your brand is your voice, there are a couple of different pieces that we're going to be talking about. For one, your brand is your voice. It's your personal story that connects. I know a lot of times we think of the influencers and we're like, oh, they have these millions of followers. Well, that's cute and all, but your story is what draws people to buy. Your story is what draws people in to want to follow you and learn more about you. It draws them in to come and take a flight to come to your event. It's your story. Why do you think so many people have resonated with Eric Thomas? It's because his story of overcoming, of being homeless as a teenager to now he has a PhD, a doctorate, y'all guys. It's that story that has resonated with so many different people. And interestingly enough, many of you have a similar or a powerful or an emotional story that you can share, but you just don't know how to get it out there. So determining what's your story, why does your story matter, which is very important for you to be able to have that confidence in your story before you even attempt to go out and share it with the world. Telling your story, that part, and the different platforms where you'll be able to share it. And then exposure opportunities. I'm going to give you some insight into a couple of the pitfalls that you guys will come in contact with, and hopefully we'll be able to maneuver around it, over it, through it, beneath it. And then I have a challenge for you guys. Now, I'm giving you the breakdown of what the flow is going to be, because if you miss anything, you'll know which part to go back to in order for you to say, okay, I remember she said something in this part. Let me go back to that specific section. Not just that, though. I want you to see that there is a progression to being able to accept this challenge. You see that the challenge is actually the last thing that I'm going to be sharing with you. A lot of times when we come into the business and the brand, when we come into being an entrepreneur, an author, a speaker, it doesn't matter if you sell cakes or toenail polish. When you're coming into it, we want to hit the ground running and do the action, which is the challenge, but we miss really focusing on what it is that we want to do. Who is it that we are? Because guess what? If you don't know who you are, then it doesn't matter where you show up. It doesn't matter how many interviews you have. Nobody else will know who you are as well. That part. So we want to make sure that we skyrocket to the top and say, I know exactly who I know. You know, have you ever watched The Cosby Show and you remember the little episode where she said, I know my body? Yeah, you have to be that confident when it comes to your story as well. So what is your story? Now, everybody's story is going to be a little different. It's going to be, the beginning story, meaning, I had to put everything together myself. I had to do it all on a shoestring budget. I had to work by myself. I didn't have a team. Though that's the beginning story. I went and I did my first interview. I went and I did my first episode of this, or I went and I spoke on a stage for the first time. That beginner story. There's something very significant about the beginner story, because guess what? Your target audience is going to be other people who are either in the place of their beginning now, or they want to begin within the next year to 2 years. Listen to me clearly. When I say that this is very specific, that the story you tell will definitely connect you with a certain audience. So the beginner story is talking directly to someone who is either in that stage right now where they're beginning now, or they are about to begin and they want to do so within 1 to 2 years. Now, I didn't say that they're going to begin in 1 to 2 years. They have a goal in their mind of starting within 1 to 2 years. Why is that so significant? When you think about if you have products and services that speak directly to that person who is beginning, then your story brings them back to you. And so no matter which level you are in this particular broadcast, right? Your story will bring them back to your products and services. Interview, in a magazine, on a podcast, when you're speaking on a stage, your story brings them back to you. Even when live streaming. One of the things that I've been able to do through my business and brand is live stream and bring people into my membership, my mastermind, to live events, to purchasing my books. It's because they resonate with my story, and my story speaks to those who are within their first 5 years. I know that about my story. So not only is it important to know your story, knowing who your story speaks to is very valuable. So the beginning, and then we have the leap. Listen, everybody knows what the leap is, but in case you're missing that part, the leap is I took a big jump. I did something way outside of my comfort zone, and it took me to this destination. Why is that so significant? Most people are scared of the leap. And so if your story is talking about the leap, then you're going to speak directly to that person that's fearful of coming outside of their comfort zone. Guess what? That can speak to a number of people. So if you have products and services that help them to come out of their comfort zone, the book, affirmations, the motivational t-shirt, the motivational mug, a magnet, anything, you're going to bring them right back to you. But also, if you're talking about being the person that has taken the leap, even if you don't have something that speaks directly to their current circumstances, because you took that leap, it makes people resonate with you. It makes them believe in what it is that you're doing. It makes them want to show up for you and support you. You know how we always struggle with this whole idea of, oh, I can't start a business, or my business isn't going the way I want it to go because nobody's supporting me, my family, my loved ones. We hear this oftentimes, right? When it comes to entrepreneurship. How many of you can agree to that? How many of you have said it within your own, or you've heard someone else say, man, I just can't find the support? Well, guess what? The support will jump in line to support you when you tell them your story of how you leaped. They will. So me telling people about how I was able to, in spite of being fearful, in spite of being an introvert, and in spite of at the time being homeless, still went and took a flight and was upgraded to first class on that flight. Guess what? I took the leap in the midst of what I was going through. How many of you does that connect with? Just think about it. How many times have you found yourself really shutting down in the midst of a situation and not going forward with your dreams, your purpose, canceling things because there was something that did not go right? That's that leap story. It definitely connects with them. So then we have the triumph. The triumph is, and I'm going back to my childhood in this one. The triumph is the nana nana boo boo, that moment. And we all have this inner child within us. Don't think that I am the only one, but I'm only going to tell my business. I won't tell yours. That triumph is overcoming what they said you could not do. They told you that you wouldn't go finish high school because you were a teen parent. That triumph story, oh, that speaks volumes to people. They want to know your triumph story. Did you triumph over divorce? Were you able to come back and have a marriage that is successful and you've been in for 10 and 15 years? That's a triumph. It's a triumph. Because guess what? Not everybody can say that they've had that same experience. And there's people that are thinking that the failure in that one area, or they're still wearing the labels from what people told them they couldn't do or who they should be. Your triumph story shows them that there's an opportunity to remove those labels. So your triumph story really does matter. And then there's the disaster. Can I just be honest? Let's be real. I love a good disaster story. I could act like I don't, and you probably could act like you don't like a good disaster story, but everybody wants to know, first of all, that the people we connect with are real. Everything doesn't go right. And so I'll give you a disaster story. For me, I am an introvert. I am an author, 15 books published and co-authored, bestsellers. Not just that, award-winning speaker, all of those wonderful things, right? My first interview, live interview, and for me, it was a complete disaster in my mind. I go, and what do we do when we're doing our first anything? We go buy a new outfit. We go make sure we got the hair done. We got the earrings. We got the makeup taken care of, everything. I was so nervous. I was just like, I just wanted to get everything done. The day of the event, I put on my dress and the zipper breaks. Now, I had this whole color scheme for the day, and I mean, I had it going on, y'all. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing. I just knew that I was about to tear it down. And here it is. I can't zip up the zipper on the side of my body, and it's the middle of August. I'm in Maryland, so the middle of August could be anywhere from about, 70 degrees to, 100 degrees. Oh my goodness. So I put on a white jacket over it and I pray for the best. I do the event, my interview, I actually knocked it out the park. It was amazing. Had some other disasters that happened during that time, but absolutely amazing. But that is a disaster. Clothing malfunctions hurt the lives of speakers everywhere. I know that I'm not alone there. Clothing disasters, makeup hair disasters. But you love a good disaster story because guess what? It means the person telling the story is human. They didn't do something right. I could have bypassed that disaster if I would have tried on the dress first. But me being sassy me, I didn't. Can you resonate with that? Is that something that really makes you go, yeah, I've had some of those moments where I kind of jumped the gun and things didn't go right. Some felt like somebody pulled the rug from under me. Guess what? You're not alone. And in understanding that you're not alone, now I can go back and I can say, oh, I can laugh about it. I can share this story. And that story will resonate with somebody who's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Now I can motivate them. And I've broken down a barrier to where when people see you online, when they see you at an event, there is this thing within their subconscious that makes them believe that you are untouchable. And so in telling you that story, you just saw that it's not that I'm untouchable. I'm just standing in this position and you're standing in that one. But if I'm standing here and I've done something like bought a dress without trying it on, then you can be in the same position, correct? So now I've broken down a barrier for you and I've allowed you to be motivated into the point. Now you say, well, if she can do it, I can do it too. Let me listen in or let me go and connect with her so I can find out more. So why does your story matter? And I'll tell you two main reasons why it really matters. And if you don't understand me, listen, I am such the I always over deliver. So this is like a master class that you're getting right now. This is what I teach in my mastermind community. This is what I teach in my speaking courses. This is what I teach my accountability communities. Why? Because these are some core values that will help your business really expand and you to be able to have your voice heard all around the world. Now, as an introvert, I'm not always the loudest one in the room. So I've had to use these same things in order for me to get the opportunities of connecting with people in the right places. So, why does your story matter? For one, it makes you the expert. When you write a book, you become the expert in writing a book. Everybody and their grandmamas, uncles, cousins, sisters, auntie is going to call you when they are interested in writing a book because you're the expert because you've done it. Sharing your story allows people to understand that I'm not just new to this. I'm not new to this at all. I'm actually true to this. Like, I'm not speaking from a place of something that I heard. I'm talking about what I know. It's the same thing when I think about being a parent. When someone gives me advice, if they're a parent to children that are older than mine, I'm going to listen in because they've been where I'm trying to go. But if you're coming to me and you don't have kids and you're telling me all of these wonderful, amazing things I should do, time out. Flag on the play. It's not going to work because you have no point of reference. So when you're sharing your story, that's why your story is so important. It becomes your point of reference for people. It allows people to say, okay, so you know exactly what it means to be losing your eyesight and have to build a business. You know what it means to be a single mother and trying to build a business. You understand where they're coming from. And then, can I tell y'all something? I am all about saving some coins, saving some dollars and some cents. And when you share your unique story, you speak directly to your target audience. I'm not out here just in a noisy internet, because guess what? The internet streets is noisy. I'm not out here in the internet streets just yelling at everyone. Can I tell y'all something? When you share a flyer, that's you yelling at everybody. When you share a flyer that you sell lotion, you're saying, hey, everybody that's ashy, I have lotion. What does that have to do with us? It's not connecting with people. And so this is saving you money on your marketing. This is saving you time. And it allows you to speak directly to your target audience. So now when I'm saying, hey, my youngest daughter was dealing with eczema and I used this body butter that I created in order to really help her eczema. Who did I speak to? I spoke to parents that have children who have dry skin and have eczema. Not just that, I spoke to adults who may have dry skin and have eczema. People, when I tell people, speak to your target audience, or I say that nasty N word that everybody gets scared of, when I tell them to niche down, they get scared because they think if I niche down, then I'm going to lose out on money. But in all actuality, you're wasting time, energy, and money right now because you're not speaking directly to the target audience that needs and wants your products and services. You're not talking to them. I don't know if you think they're invisible or what, but you're not talking directly to them. And so when you start to share your story of why you started this MLM, when you start to share the story of the fact that you joined this MLM because you decided that you wanted to be home more with your children, and this MLM provides you that time. That's sharing your story. That's speaking to your target audience because now you're talking to other women who want to stay home with their children. You're talking to other women who want more income coming in so they can do more with their kids. Even if it's not leaving their job, they may just want more money so they can take a family vacation. But now I'm not telling them you need to do this MLM in order for you to make more money to take a vacation. No, I'm saying my kids and I just came back from the zoo. We just came back from Florida. And it was because, I was able to make an extra couple dollars doing this that I was able to pay for this trip. It speaks to them in a whole different other level, because now you're not speaking at them, you're speaking to them. So now, telling your story is so important. And this is the part where people get kind of nervous, because they say, well, I don't want to tell all my business online. And how do I know if I'm telling too much, or how do I break this down? I want you to think of it in three things. The pivotal moment. The pivotal moment is that moment when that fork in the road. Do I go left? Do I go right? That it could be that brick wall that you came up against. That's your pivotal moment. Do I go over, around, under, through? That's your pivotal moment. That's the thing that catches their attention because they've had a similar moment. What was the lesson that you learned? So for me, a pivotal moment for me doing my first interview, that was pivotal for me, because it was after publishing the first book and I was excited and yay, and so eager to present in such a way. The lesson learned: try on the dress first, crazy. Don't just buy the dress. Even though I personally don't like trying on dresses and clothes, try on the dress, crazy, if you're going to wear it to something of this magnitude. Lesson learned, right? Action steps. You always make sure that you give them some action steps that they can walk away with. What's something they can do right now? What's something they can do today? Not something they have to wait 3 weeks to do, not something they have to wait 4 months. No, what's something they can do today? When they leave your broadcast, leave your magazine article, when they leave your presence from listening to you speak, what are some things that they can take away from that? And so when I go back to the story of me in the dress, 3 takeaways that I can say, well, listen, so in order for you not to go through what I went through, there's 3 things you can do. You can, number 1, always have a good girlfriend that you go shopping with. Because a good girlfriend is not going to allow you just to buy anything and you have not tried it on. Can we be honest and have a reality check right there? A good girlfriend is not going, or one of your kids, especially if you have daughters. If you have girls, take one of your daughters. Oh, they're not going to let you just get any old thing at the store. Trust me, I have 3 girls who are teenagers. They're not going to let you just get anything. So, good girlfriend or your teenage daughter, yes, check. Trying on the dress when you purchase it at the store, check. Number 3, guys, a simple one. Just try to dress on the day before the event. So that way you can prepare in case you need to change the outfit. So you get it? My pivotal moment, my first interview, and how I botched it, because I was literally at the interview hot because I had a jacket on in the middle of the summer, but I was still cute, that part. So that was the pivotal moment for me. The lesson learned: all right, we got to make sure that we do better because we got to show up in excellence. And what were my action steps? Have somebody go with me, try the dress on at the store, and try it on the day before so that way I make sure that it fits. Simple, right? Now that's me telling it to you right off the rip, right in front of you. I didn't have that written down or anything. That's just me telling you from that particular story. But I can literally do that same breakdown with any story. Any story, any pivotal moment that I've had in my life, some funnier than others, I can give you that same breakdown, and you should be able to do the same. Now, when it comes to exposure, are you ready? I need you to get pen and paper. Pen and paper, because you're going to write some things down. Because this is going to be personal. Everybody's not going to do every single thing that's going to be on here. And I'm going to challenge you. I have one challenge for you at the end of this, but I'm going to challenge you not to be so eager to do everything, but I want you to do one thing. One thing out of these opportunities for exposure, I want you to do one within the next 24 hours. You heard me. You heard me. The next 24 hours, you will do one of these. And then I have a separate challenge for you that I'll talk about at the end. But one of these, you'll be doing it within the next 24 hours. So, number one, well, I will say 1 through 4. We have podcast interviews, blogs, magazines, or live stream. I always get this from people. I can't live stream. I'm shy. Listen, I understand. I'm an introvert. I can't live stream. I got to get a background. I got to get this. Okay. Then maybe live stream is not for you. That's okay. Do what's going to work best for you. So within the next 24 hours, I want you to sign up to do a podcast interview. And you might even be able to do something with Tiffany or go live with Tiffany or connect with her and do something with her. You might be able to do something within the BBMW group. But you got to take action. See, it's great to, think about what you can, should, could probably do. No, I want you to take action. I'm about action. Podcast interview, a blog post or blog collaboration. Now, I know for the Our Voice Matters blog, I do features of different women's stories depending on the topic, but there are bloggers out there that want your story. You're going to have to do some work with this one, guys. I'm not giving you any outs for this. No, you're going to have to do some work. Magazines. There are tons of magazines, and you're on a perfect platform. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. These are great ways for you to find some of these podcasters, bloggers, those who have magazines, and say, hey, I would like to be featured on your ... The live stream you can do on many different platforms: Periscope, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can go do a TikTok video. I just want you to get out there within the next 24 hours. I'm going to tell you why this is so significant, especially with this being day 1 of 2020. When you complete a task, it sets the momentum for you to do your next task. One of the reasons why I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to vision boards is because people will do a vision board and then they don't act on it within the next 24 hours, at least one thing on that vision board. And so now they spend 3 to 6 months trying to gain momentum to try to knock off at least one of the things on there. And by the end of the year, it's just another vision board. I need you to take action. So those were the first 4. The next 4 is a collaboration, a speaking event, doing a webinar, or you're already here for this one, a virtual summit, guys. There are people doing virtual summits all over social media. They have opportunities for you to be a speaker, opportunities for you to come and do trainings for their private groups, opportunities for you to collaborate on projects. Guys, go, if you don't believe me, go and put it on your timeline. Go put it on your page. I'm looking for a Facebook community that wants, someone to come in and train their community. I'm looking for, are there any virtual summits looking for speakers? Are there any events or, depending on your target audience, are there any events in this particular target that are looking for speakers? Get out there and ask, guys. I promise you, there's going to be people that will give you an answer, that are going to respond. But it's only when you take action. And that's why it's so valuable for you to take action within 24 hours of seeing this video. No matter if you saw it live or if you're seeing the replay, take action. So now, earlier on, I told you that there are some pitfalls when it comes to sharing your particular voice for your brand, for your business, and your particular story. And I'm going to tell you about 4 that are really, really killing us when it comes to us reaching that higher level of success. For one is coming out sounding like a copycat or sounding like someone else. It's very easy to do when we're listening to other people's voices and we're listening to training from other people, for us to really take on what it is they say and start sounding just like them. Never allow somebody else's voice to be louder than your own. I'm going to repeat that. Never allow someone else's voice be louder than your own when it comes to your business, your relationships, your personal life. Because you will find yourself in a state of depression. You will find yourself in a state of confusion. You will literally put yourself at a point where you'll say, why am I doing this? And you'll give up. And there's probably many of you listening right now that have gone through something similar already. It's very easy to happen, but it's also easy for you to come out of it. So then we have to think about that self-talk. What's the self-talk that I'm giving myself in the morning? What's my affirmation? So I am Senorita Fancy Pants. So I'll share with you one of my affirmations that I say. I'm very intentional. And so today I am a successful Christian business owner that leads with service, creates opportunities, and empowers one person to find their voice. That is the confession that I make every day. I'm here on this summit to help you find your voice. You, one person, you, the individual. When I go live in the morning, I help one individual find their voice. You don't believe me? You can go check out the lives. You can check out the comments. There's every day that somebody says, this was for me. Because that's my confession. What are you confessing in the morning? Because if you're not confessing anything, then you have to really dig deep and say, what am I believing about myself? Am I good enough to confess over myself? Because we'll confess over our children, we'll confess over our spouse, we'll confess over everyone else, we'll tell everybody else how amazing they are, and we'll go and stand behind them 100%. And then when it comes to us, we won't have that same mentality. And I'll tell you what broke me out of that was my mentor saying to me, I was going through some things, and at the time I was dealing with a coach that was it was draining. And my mentor said, what would you say to yourself right now in a coaching session? Give yourself a coaching session right now. What would you say to yourself? Sit down with yourself and coach yourself in this moment. And when he said that, it really made me go back and think and say, okay, what am I really saying to myself? What am I really confessing over myself? And am I sending the same energy and power to myself that I'm sending to everybody else? So you got to believe that your voice is good enough, because guess what? There's always going to be somebody that believes it's not. I don't need to give them power. I need to give myself power. So guess what? All of that needs to be shut down. And I got to make sure that I'm saying to myself in the morning something that is significant and powerful and in the direction that I am trying to move. So for mine, again, it was today I am a successful Christian business owner that leads with service, creates opportunities, and empowers one person to find their voice. That is what I'm saying in the morning. Now, number 3 is a powerful one too, location. You're showing up in the wrong places. Now, can I tell you, I'm a woman of God, so I'll put it to you this way. I know that for me, it is that everywhere my feet tread, I have dominion. And so everywhere my feet tread, I have dominion. Then if I'm putting my feet somewhere where I don't want to have dominion, I'm causing myself a disservice. I am causing myself a disservice because I'm in a location that's not meant for me. I don't want dominion in what they're doing. And let's just be honest, because we don't want to be mixed up in everybody else's stuff. So where am I showing up? Now I'm going to give you this location one. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you clean and cut. And part of what we do in my community is we do a purge. and the purge started today, the communities that you are a part of, even the BBMW community, you need to be active in the community. If you're not active in the community, then why are you there? And being active means I need to make sure my voice is being heard, not just that my links are being seen. Ooh, I know that was a brick. I apologize. Sorry, not sorry. But when we're using our voice in the wrong locations, we drain our energy, guys. We drain so much of our energy. I need you to understand it's time for us to get our energy back. So wherever we show up, we have dominion. So that means I need to show up unapologetic, authentically me, and ready to take over the world. Your story does that. Every time you share your story, that's you showing up unapologetic. That's you showing up authentically you. And it doesn't matter if you came from being homeless or came from being a stripper. It does not matter if you came from being the side chick. It does not matter. Why? Your story is your story. It's your triumph. It's your victory. Never let anyone tell you that your victory is not valid. And then the last piece when it comes to the pitfalls is the bitter versus better. Now, this is a dangerous one. This is a dangerous area because we got to let go of some baggage. We got to go through that healing process. We got to go through that self-love. I'm somebody that I'm always investing in myself. I read maybe about 2 books a week. That's just me because I'm a reader and I'm an introvert. That's my life. But the bitter versus better mentality, you got to understand, when I am speaking and sharing my message and I'm bitter, I am planting a seed of bitterness in other people. When I am sharing my story and I'm better, I'm planting a seed in people to help them be better. So I always have to be mindful and cognizant of where I am before I even say anything out of my mouth. Because if not, listen, I'll be came forward and shut everybody down. Because let's be honest, can we be real? Life happens and it hurts like heck. It hurts like stubbing your toe in the midnight hour and all you wanted to go do was get a drink of water. It hurts. But we want to make sure that we're coming from a place of empathy and coming from a place of empowerment and education, because we want to build other leaders. We don't want people to just have an attachment to us, because guess what? They're not going to grow. We want to build leaders. We want people to be able to come to us, get whatever they need, even if it's a pound cake, baby, a brownie. Get whatever they need from us. But when they leave us, they're in a happier state of mind. They've learned something. They've grown a little bit. When they leave us, baby, I want you to be able to say, you look back and say, whew, man, that was a whirlwind, but I'm glad that I went. When you leave this segment, when you leave this summit, you should be able to say, whew, man, it took some hours out my day. I had to write a lot. I might have had to listen to the things a couple times. But when I came back to my place, to my home, to my family, to my business, I came back with something that fed me and allowed me to go even harder in my business, allowed me to do something better within my relationships, allowed me to go and look at my children and say, I haven't done this the best way, but as of today, I'm going to do better. There's a difference when you connect with somebody who's leading with service. And so now here comes your challenge. And then of course, we're going to get these Q&A session. You guys are going to be able to ask me questions and stuff. You've been challenged. So the first challenge was those opportunities and areas for exposure. You are to do one of those opportunities within the next 24 hours. Now, I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you an edge. Somebody say edge. I'm going to give you an edge. There is a website called, it's called HARO. It's called Help a Reporter Out. It allows you to go and see when a reporter is looking for a certain story in whatever topic, and they're looking for contributors. And this is your opportunity for exposure. They literally will send you emails every day, and you just respond to the ones that you are interested in. That's your edge. So within 24 hours, now listen here, because I'm about taking action, but you're not about to skirt past me on this, okay? Signing up your account, creating your account, signing into the account, signing in for the emails, that is not your action. We're not doing that. Don't be lazy. Don't. Your action is when you respond to one of the actual emails and you respond to one of the requests. That is your action. So it's called HARO, HARO, Help a Reporter Out. If you look it up, go to the website, sign up, you'll get emails, and guess what? You'll have an opportunity there. But even if you don't, like I said, you're in the BBMW community. Guess what? Say, hey, Tiffany, are there any other opportunities for speakers? Are there any ways that I could do maybe a collaboration, or we can do a joint live stream, or we can do some? Your 24 hours starts when this video ends, and you have no excuse. None. But I'm going to make it a little simpler for you. I'm going to give you another challenge, but you still have the first one. Don't think you're skirting past that. You still have the first challenge, but I'm going to give you another one. So that one was make a commitment to have your voice heard. Give it a date and an action that you will complete today. So for one of those 8 that I showed you guys, what are you going to complete today? What are you going to do today? Are you going to fill out in response to HARO today? Are you going to find a podcast that you can go and reach out to today? Are you going to go and reach out to Tiffany and say, Tiffany, how can I serve more in the community? Are you going to go, listen, what are you going to do today that is going to have your voice heard? And say that you would like to have your voice heard by the end of the month, that's great, but there's an action that you need to do today. So that means if I fill out an opportunity for HARO and I don't get a response, do I just quit? Do I only fill out one opportunity? No. I go and I fill out more. Every time I see one that applies to me, I go and fill it out, because I want to have my voice heard by the end of January. Give it a date and an action that you will complete today. So now, I know you're probably looking and you're like, who is this woman that has been like breaking it all the way down today? So I'm Altovise Pelzer. I am the voice manager of some career highlights for me. I'm an award-winning empowerment speaker, 15-time best-selling author, host of the Speakeasy podcast, founder of the Our Voice Matters blog, and also the founder of the World Voice League, which is a virtual network of female speakers coming together to impact social change. I have a gift for you. If you go to bit.ly/Our Voice Matters submission, you can submit 3 to 5 sentences on why you feel as though the woman's voice is so powerful. 3 to 5 words. You'll have some other things to submit, your headshot, a short bio, and your submission will be included in a LinkedIn article that will be going out later on this month and then will be highlighted during Women's History Month. I'm all about exposure and having your voice heard. That's what I do. So bit.ly, Our Voice Matters submission. all lowercase, and submit those 3 to 5 sentences, and let's get your voice out there. Few ways for you to connect with me. I would love for you to connect. I'm looking forward to you connecting, but also I'm in the BBMW community, guys. I'm posting in there. I might say something a little bit. Come say hi, come high five me, come shout out and say, hey, I heard you over on the summit. Definitely, I appreciate what you did. Or even if you say, girl, I don't know, all that foolishness you was talking about on the summit, you was doing too much talking. You can do whatever you like, but I want to be sure that you have exactly what you need. So with that being said, guys, let's see if we got any questions. Because I saw y'all was going in on the chat. I saw it. Whew, all types of stuff. Okay, let's see. Tiffany said, "Oh, y'all, you taking us to church." Listen. Oh, come on. Exactly. Patricia said it. I want to build leaders. That's what it is about. Come on. Look. Patricia says she needs to find her target audience online and speak directly to them. That's right. Exactly. And you want to know something? That does not mean that you have to be on every single platform, or it means that you just need to critique it for whatever platform it's going to be on. There's people on every platform that you can probably speak to. But if you want to be more in a corporate field, then LinkedIn is your platform, not Instagram. So your voice is going to be a lot more distinct on LinkedIn as opposed to Instagram. Your voice is going to be a lot more distinct on Twitter as opposed to Facebook. You'll still be able to connect with some people there, but it's not going to be that same targeted. Like, you want to be laser focused when you're sharing your voice, because I can tell you, I started on Periscope, and in sharing my story on Periscope, that's how I got a lot of the following that I got now. That's how I was able to become I'm like a silver level streamer on Periscope or something, and had people connect with me over on LinkedIn, and I'm doing live stream over on LinkedIn now. It opens up the opportunities, but it comes from you just being very authentic, just going ahead and sharing your story. Oh, Felicia said no one watches me when I go live. So Felicia, I'm gonna share. I'm giving y'all all types of juice. Listen, y'all only got 10 more minutes. So look, when somebody always says to me, nobody comes in when I go live. Well, so I'm big on reciprocity. I'm big on community. So what community are you a part of that can support you when you go live? I'm not talking about friends and family. I'm talking about a community of entrepreneurs that can support you as you're going live. That means having people that, because if people aren't coming into your lives, it's for one of two reasons. It's because you're not a part of a community where you're starting to build those relationships, or they don't like what you're talking about. I learned that the hard way. Trust me, I started off with nobody in my live stream, and I'm going to come and share it in the group. I'll share a picture of the dress from the first interview. I'll share that, and I'll also go and share my Periscope numbers in the beginning. I started out in the same position, but it's that consistency. Do they know where to find you? Are you consistent in showing up? Are you sharing something that they really want to hear about? And then what community are you a part of to where you can start building relationships and getting more people into your lives? Ha! Oh, most definitely. Yes, I can. Please repeat the link. It is BIT, and I'll put it in the comments over here for you guys as well. And then we'll put it in the group as well. It is Our Voice Matters Submission. Oh, it helps if I don't send it to just Tiffany, though. I might want to send it to everybody, right? I mean, I love you and everything, Tiffany. There we go. Thank you, Tiffany. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So did you guys have any other questions? Because like I said, this has been, I rebranded in 2016. So this has been a journey from, I started my business back in 2014, rebranded in 2016. And from 2016, at the beginning of 2016, I was homeless, published 4 books in that first year. I've published 15 books from 2016 until now. So I'm determined to have my voice heard, right? Started a podcast, doubled the views on my blog. I've been doing the work, doing it. So that one, and it'll tell you as well, it's 3 to 5 sentences on the power of the woman's voice. And so what I'm doing is I am posting some blogs where I am sharing out entrepreneurs talking about the woman's voice. Because if we look at just how powerful the woman's voice is, literally the United States, there are 12.3 million women-owned businesses. 12.3 million. 12.3 million. And that's such a huge, significant number. But we don't understand the impact that we're having with it. Because as women, when we are successful business owners, we change the dynamic, we change the flow of money, we change our communities. We're going back, and we're the ones going back and giving that hand out and that hand up for the children in the community. We're going back and we're going to the shelters, and we're going to the women that are in the same position we were in. We're going back and helping those same women, whereas other people may not be looking at that particular demographic. Oh, it's my pleasure. It is my pleasure. And like I said, remember, y'all got 24 hours, so make sure that y'all take action in that 24 hours. And I know those of you over in the group, I'll be over there as well to answer some questions in case we missed any, just in case. It is my pleasure. I appreciate you guys so much. I always love being able to come and to serve. That part. So, Miss Tiffany, did you have anything else for me, ma'am?
No, I was just sitting here enjoying it all. So thank you so much. This was amazing. I'm actually going to take you up on your challenge. Thank you, Altovise. This was really, very inspiring, very, and I love the challenge because it forces us to go ahead and take some kind of action as opposed to just consuming the information and not, doing anything with it. So
yeah, I found myself for the longest time, I was the one that would go to events and collect information. And even when I think about writing my first book, it took 8 years for me to write my first book.
Wow.
And then here it is in 4 years now, I've written 15. But
wow.
that first book, I collected information on publishing companies and this and that and how long it should be. And we get so caught up in it's that information overload that we get analysis paralysis, and then we don't get anything done.
Yeah. That's exactly what happens. Sometimes you could just be in the over planning mode, you know, just planning. You know, that's how I was when I first started my business. I was gathering all this information, doing what, you know, doing all those things. And then I actually had to stop and ask someone, should I just start? You know what I mean? Like just start. So yeah, this was awesome. Thank you so much, Altovise.
Right?
There will be a post, a Q&A post, because I know people are gonna have much more, you know, questions in the group.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
So much.